Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Kirby Canvas Curse playthrough, where this could actually end up being the finale of, at least the main adventure anyway. So we have level 7 here, Wonder Lane, here in Spectacle Space. Let's go ahead and get this started. So, for this first level, this level's a very unique level. It's got a very interesting backdrop, as you can see. And not only that, but the first star medal is actually kind of interesting. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing here. Because basically, at one point in this room, there is actually something that you need to do that would kind of go, I guess, a little against what you would expect you'd need to do. But basically, yeah, we need to kind of go on the outside of this first section. And basically, if we follow this path all the way to the end here, we'll actually get to where the first star medal is. So you just kind of have to notice that, okay, I can go outside like the main boundary. And once you realize that, it's actually a fairly easy star medal to actually get. But that is only the first room out of what will be many rooms. I'm going to also touch the floor just so I can get my line back. You can also use Balloon Kirby as well if you want to. But Balloon Kirby I find is actually, if anything, more dangerous here than just normal Kirby. Maybe not dangerous, just, I don't know. Having that extra need to control it properly just doesn't seem as necessary as just, you know, doing it normally, obviously. So there we go, that is the first room. This next room is actually kind of interesting. We have to use Missile Kirby in this one. This is an interesting room because in this room, you actually kind of get controlled by the orbits of these planets. Think of it kind of like Mad Space from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's, in some ways, kind of similar to the idea anyway. But yeah, in this room, it's a very huge room. We have to go around the room and disable all the switches. I want to say this is the speedrun room in the Rainbow Run mode, if I'm not mistaken. See, it's interesting because even the planets will affect the missiles' trajectory as well. So I believe the second switch is actually down here, if I'm not mistaken. It is. Hello, get this. But we obviously don't want to go to that center section just yet because there's still another section of the room we need to explore. So we need to get that coin. Now that we've gotten that coin, we can make our way back to the first part of the room and finish this up properly. So for this section, we need to make all the switches red. And there we go. Uh-oh. We have an auto-scroller. It's an auto-scroller with space particles. Everyone's favorite. I think. And that's okay. I'll take the death as long as we got the star medal. And that's actually the last star medal for level 7, because since this is the last full-length world, there aren't any more of those switches. So we're not going to get blocked out of any other switch things, so that's nice. Now all I have to do is just get to the end here. I'm trying to delay my brush strokes here because obviously I'm running kind of low on my meter. And, oh shoot. There we go. Level 7 is completed. And there is our main foe of the game, Drawcia. Drawcia has revealed themselves. Level 7 is now available in Rainbow Run. No boss minigames this time. Instead, we go straight for the world of Drawcia, the last world of the game. There's only one level in this world, and there's 2 medals in this level, so we have to find them before we get to the boss. The medals themselves aren't too difficult. As long as you just kind of use the same logic you've used throughout the game, you should be able to find them. Basically, they're in these next 2 rooms. So as long as you just search the rooms very thoroughly, you should be able to find them. I'm trying to think of where they hide this. I want to say they hide it around here. This looks like a place they'd hide a medal, and sure enough, there is medal number 1. So let's go back. Now in this room, this medal is actually a little more difficult. You need to use slightly different thinking here. Notice these picture frames in the back wall. Well, we're going to actually go through this room and defeat them all. And yes, you do need to do this. I actually missed this medal in my first playthrough because I just thought this was, like, you know, part of the background. I didn't think these were actually, like, enemies the game expected me to destroy. To be fair, though, like, why would you think otherwise? I think you can also go down here for some extra, like, goodies if you need them. I don't need a Maxim tomato, though, because I'm full health right now. So yeah, break these down, and after you get all of them, metal will appear, you get that. And what's this? It's an exit door. Although in this case, it's not so much an exit door as it is an entrance door, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the final boss of the game against Drawcia. So, here's the deal. Drawcia is actually immune to any attacks at this point. We need to wait for an opening before we can actually do something. I think that actually was our opening right there. But yeah, you need to, like, reflect those energy attacks. Otherwise, if you just run straight into her, it's not going to do any good. That's actually not all she has. You'll also make some pictures of enemies that you'll need to destroy as well. As usual, defeat these enemies, or just let them go off screen. Either works. Then you have to do other things. God dang it. You have to actually wait for the energy ball attacks. I mean, we're not doing too bad, but could be doing better. So whenever she does that, like, fast bounce, you need to get to the other side of the room. She does a normal bounce, so you can kind of make it work. So one more attack should do it. Just need to be careful until then. Okay, just caboose. And there we go. Drawcia has been defeated. But guys, you know how Kirby games work. You know it's not that easy. Why do you think it's over? Yeah, it's definitely not over. We still have one more fight to do. And we even get full health to do it. So I'm not sure what exactly this thing is called. I'll put it on screen. But, yeah, we have to fight this thing. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can damage this thing. Drawcia's soul. I guess it's on screen already. But, to beat Drawcia's soul, whenever she uses these little eyeball things, you have to touch them when they open so they go back at her. But that's not the only way you can do damage to her. There are other ways you can damage her as well. And basically what you're doing in this fight is just finding the best way to survive and get that health down. When she's bouncing like this, obviously stay away from her bouncing. You can also protect Kirby from any projectile attacks. Obviously keep that in mind. And here you can actually just like touch the thing to do damage. Oh shoot, I forgot to. When she's stunned like that, you also want to dash into her. I forgot to do that. But that's okay. I'll remember next time. Now, there is one other attack you gotta look out for. Yeah, see, you definitely want to charge into it. Okay, so right here, when she charges across the screen, you want to get in the air because she's going to do a dash attack. And I think that's pretty much it. Those are like all the main attacks. As you can see, it's really not that hard of a boss fight. Just a matter of memorizing what you need to do for each attack. And keep in mind, in my practice playthrough, I did this on the default 4 health. I have a lot more health I'm working with this time. And see, that's the thing. If you don't hit all those eyeballs, she'll do a different attack, so you have to look out for that. Oh wow, that's surprising she's doing it again. I've never seen her do that twice in a row. Shouldn't take too much longer. There might be more ways to do damage to her as well. But, I don't know them. And there we go. Drawcia's soul has been attacked and defeated. And that is actually the main story of Kirby's Canvas Curse. We did it, guys. We beat a game. Let's put our stylus down and just watch the rest of the show. Until we ultimately need to pick up our stylus again. But that's hardly relevant at this point. The witch's true form was an unknown painting. Over time, the painting transformed, and Drawcia sprung forth. She wished for a world all of paint. But Drawcia didn't count on Kirby entering her realm. Nor did she anticipate you getting the magical paintbrush. So she's dumb? I don't know. The magical paintbrush wanted to return life to normal. Remember, we're the magical paintbrush. It appeared before you and Kirby, and drew a portal. Saddened, Kirby parted from the paintbrush and went in. Done with its mission, the paintbrush vanished into light. Kirby awoke in dreamland. The land, the sky, and Kirby were all normal. And normal's pretty subjective. And a time of peace once again visited dreamland. Just then, a grand rainbow appeared. A gift from the paintbrush? It does look pretty. Look at all the butterflies. Ah, Kirby's waving. The end. So yeah, that is Kirby Canvas Curse. You know, it's a fun little touch DS game. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Kirby game by any stretch, but you know, it is fun for what it is. I do remember like a lot of people saying that back when the DS first released, like this game and I believe WarioWare Touched were like the definitive like DS games because of the way they, you know, basically utilized the DS's touchscreen capabilities. Obviously, there was like Super Mario 64 DS and, you know, that game which launched with the system, which was alright, but it didn't really utilize the touchscreen for any like touching stuff except for the mini games. While, you know, this game and WarioWare Touch were kind of the first like touchscreen only games, where basically controlled entirely by the touchscreen. And for what it is, like, I think it honestly functions very well. It's a fun game. It's you know, very short, and it's a pretty difficult game to master if you want to go for everything. Not just 100%, but even just like doing like the Rainbow Run and the boss mini games to get like good ranks and stuff. It's honestly pretty difficult. You really have to optimize things very well. So I did honestly enjoy coming back to this and finishing this game, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I finished it before, but you know, actually like coming back and doing a Let's Play on it after playing this game like so long ago, it was definitely a lot of fun. Playing this game again. I also got to play Rainbow Curse, which is the game that kind of follows this in terms of just like general game mechanics, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to experience both of the games, and it was a lot of fun too. So definitely kudos on Nintendo, HAL Laboratories, whoever worked on this game and brought it to all the lovely video gamers and DS players out there. Like I said, not my favorite Kirby game, but it's, you know, fun for a little spin-off. It's kind of like a half spin-off because it does have like kind of an adventure element to it, just, you know, not as obvious as some of the other Kirby games out there. But this is actually not the end of this project. I will be going through Rainbow Run and going through all those courses, trying to get all of the medals for that mode. The one thing I will say about that is there will be a lot of edited and cut footage out of those videos, because I don't want to show all of my failed attempts, because that would just make these very long, since some of those stages are very hard. And I will also be using, I don't really want to call it an exploit, but there is something I can use that can make a lot of the, particularly the time trial stages, a lot easier. So I will be using that as well. But as far as other future Kirby games and future projects, I usually talk about this at the end of the project, and this is clearly not the end of the project yet, but as far as like next Kirby game I'm going to be doing on this channel, I'll go ahead and say it right now. It will be Kirby Triple Deluxe. In fact, that was actually my plan. I was actually intending to do Triple Deluxe this year, but you know, out of respect to Chugga Conroy, who is also currently doing the game and had to go through a lot of stuff, you know, this year in his life. You know, kind of didn't want to have two Triple Deluxe playthroughs going on simultaneously. So maybe I'll get to Triple Deluxe at the end of this year, maybe the start of next year. We'll have to see. But you know, this was a nice game to come back to and, you know, take care of on my Let's Play backlog, and I'm glad I did. So before we actually wrap this up, there is one more thing I want to showcase. Let's actually go back to File 2. You can now use the Waddle D ball. What the hell does that mean? Well, let's go back to main game really quick. Let's go back to the very first level of the game. We actually have a second ball we can play as. Now, remember when I said, in order to 100% this game, you need to play this game 5 times. Well, this is where that comes into play. There are other characters you can play as. And essentially, if you want to get 100% in this game, you need to play as all of the characters. And I know I said 5, and there's only 4 slots here. There is a hidden 5th character, which I'll talk about later. So yeah, that's how you get 100% in this game, is by basically doing all of that. So yeah, have fun with that if you want to get 100% in this game. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. But that's actually not it. Let's actually kind of talk about those characters. So we're going to very quickly go back. We're going to go to the medal swap. We unfortunately don't have enough to get everything I want to get here. But let's actually go to, I think, the one that's worth 20. It's this one. So let's go ahead and spend the medals on this one. Unfortunately, you literally got to tap this 20 times. So if you do this, you unlock the DDD ball. So now we can play as King DDD, or the King DDD ball. And after you unlock this one, you will unlock the one below it, which I'll go ahead and say it right now. This is the Meta Knight ball. And the Meta Knight ball is perhaps the best ball in the game, especially if you want to actually go through, you know, Rainbow Run and get all of those, because Meta Knight just has a lot of very excellent abilities, which makes him the definitive choice for a lot of those, if I'm being honest. But as you can see, we don't have enough to purchase that, though, but thankfully, that won't matter too much, because we only need 13 more, and we can easily get those by doing, like, a few Rainbow Run levels without him. And that shouldn't be a problem. As far as the 5th unlockable ball character, you actually don't get it in this screen. In order to unlock that character, what you need to do is you need to basically beat Drawcia with the original 4 characters. So all you have to do is just beat the 4 modes, and or beat World 8, Level 8, the Drawcia world, with all 4 of the other characters, and you'll unlock the 5th character, which I'll go ahead and say it, because again, at this point, it doesn't matter too much, and it's not really that big of a secret. It's actually the Waddle Do ball, which is just the Waddle D ball, but with the beam ability, which is kind of lame, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. So, like I said, I'll unlock the Meta Knight ball after we do a couple of Rainbow Run levels. And at the very end of it, I will have probably a video kind of showcasing all the different abilities with all the different characters we have. So yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. For tomorrow's video, I guess we'll start doing the rainbow runs. I'm not sure how long each of these will be, because a lot of it's going to be based on which attempts are the best attempts, and I'm going to be cutting a lot of footage, but yeah, that's what we're going to be working on next, so I'll see you guys for that. I'm also not sure how many levels we'll do per video, but we do have essentially 21 levels to go through, and get through all those medals. We'll be getting a lot of medals, and we'll start also unlocking a lot of the other stuff we get along the way. So yeah, that's my next objective. I hope you guys are ready, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Later, folks.